Thinking about moving to Charleston, South Carolina? This beautiful, historic city has a lot to offer: stunning architecture, charming neighborhoods, and a rich culture. But is it the perfect place for you? Well, there are some things you need to know before making the big move. In this video, we're going to dive into the pros and cons of living in Charleston, from the amazing food scene to the unpredictable weather. Stick around, because by the end, you'll have all the insider info you need to decide whether Charleston is the right fit for you. Let's start with one of the most obvious pros: Charleston's undeniable historic charm. If you love history, Charleston is your dream city. From the colorful houses of Rainbow Row to the iconic Battery and historic mansions, the city is filled with Southern charm. Charleston's downtown area feels like stepping back in time, with its beautifully preserved architecture and tree-lined streets. Walking through Charleston's French Quarter or South of Broad neighborhood, you'll see homes that are hundreds of years old, adding a unique character to the city. History buffs will never get bored here. Charleston is packed with museums, historic sites like Fort Sumter, where the first shots of the Civil War were fired, and plantations that offer tours and a glimpse into the city's past. Living here means you can immerse yourself in history every day, which is one of the biggest draws for people moving to Charleston. But with that Southern charm comes Southern heat. So let's talk about one of the major cons of living in Charleston: the weather. Charleston is beautiful year-round, but the summers can be brutal. From June to August, temperatures often soar into the mid-90s, and the humidity can make it feel even hotter. If you're not used to the heat, you might find summers here challenging. Be prepared to spend extra on air conditioning, because you'll need it running 24/7 during those peak summer months. Another weather-related downside is the risk of hurricanes. Charleston is located along the Atlantic coast, and hurricane season runs from June through November. While the city has infrastructure in place to handle storms, it's something every resident has to prepare for, whether that means installing hurricane shutters, having an evacuation plan, or dealing with occasional flooding. Now let's swing back to another huge pro: beach life and endless outdoor activities. Charleston's coastline is stunning. Whether you want to relax on the sand or hit the waves, beaches like Folly Beach, Isle of Palms, and Sullivan's Island are all within a short drive from downtown. Living here means you can enjoy the sun, surf, and salt water anytime you want. Plus, it's a major perk if you love water sports like paddleboarding, surfing, or boating. But the outdoor fun doesn't stop at the beaches. Charleston has some great parks and trails for hiking, biking, and kayaking. James Island County Park and Angel Oak Park are perfect for weekend outings with the family or just soaking up some nature. Outdoor lovers will find plenty of opportunities to stay active year-round, thanks to Charleston's mild winter weather. Charleston is also famous for its festivals. From the Spoleto Festival USA to the Charleston Wine Food Festival, there's always something happening. Living here means you can enjoy these events without having to travel far, which is a huge plus if you like a lively cultural scene. Let's be honest, Charleston isn't just popular with residents, it's a major tourist destination, and that can bring some downsides. With Charleston's growing popularity comes traffic. The city's historic downtown wasn't built for modern cars, so streets can get pretty congested, especially during peak tourist season or rush hour. If you're commuting from the suburbs, be prepared for some delays, especially if you're driving over bridges like the Ravenel Bridge. Charleston attracts millions of tourists every year, which means the most popular spots, like King Street or the Battery, can get crowded, particularly on weekends. While the city thrives on tourism, it can be frustrating to navigate during peak travel seasons. If you're someone who enjoys quieter spaces, this could be a potential drawback. Now, on to one of the best things about living in Charleston: the food scene. Charleston is known for its world-class restaurants and Southern cuisine. From fresh-caught seafood to low-country staples like shrimp and grits, foodies will fall in love with this city. Whether you're dining at Husk or grabbing oysters at The Ordinary, Charleston's food scene is top-notch. Charleston also embraces the farm-to-table movement, with plenty of local markets and fresh seasonal ingredients at your fingertips. The city's farmers markets are popular with residents who want to support local farmers and enjoy fresh produce all year long. But that amazing lifestyle does come at a cost. Let's talk about the cost of living in Charleston. Over the past few years, Charleston's housing prices have skyrocketed. The median home price in 2024 is around $550,000, and rentals can be equally expensive, especially downtown or in popular areas like Mount Pleasant. If you're on a tight budget, finding affordable housing in Charleston could be a challenge. Beyond housing, groceries, dining out, and utilities are also more expensive compared to the national average. While Charleston offers a high quality of life, it's not always the most affordable place to live, especially if you're used to lower costs in other parts of the country. So, there you have it, the pros and cons of living in Charleston, South Carolina. From the beautiful beaches and rich history to the heat, traffic, and rising costs, Charleston is a city of contrasts. But if you can handle the cons, the pros might just make it the perfect place to call home. Thinking about making the move? Let me know what excites you most or what worries you in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living your best life in Charleston.